Silly Little Duck by Marilita Robinson, art by Jackie Urbanovic. Once, there was a silly little duck who loved to swim in the lake. He paddled and dabbled and splashed and dived all day long. But one day, gray clouds rolled in and the rain began to fall. "Quack!" cried the little duck as he paddled for shore as fast as he could. "What's the matter?" called his friends. "It's raining," said the silly little duck. "I don't want to get wet." Bert, Beth, and the Rocking Chair. Story and art by Valerie Gorbachev. One day, Grandfather made a rocking chair for Bert and Beth. Bert rocked on the rocking chair. Beth rocked on the rocking chair. Then they both rocked on the rocking chair. Bert and Beth called their friends. They all had fun on the rocking chair. Until it broke. "Don't cry, kids," said Grandfather. "I'll make a new rocking chair for you and your friends." And he did. The Poetry Party by Eileen Spinelli, art by Rose Mary Berlin. Little Bunny and his friends went to the library for a poetry party. "I see hats and mats," said Raccoon. "And treats and sweets," said Squirrel. When everyone sat down, Mr. Possum, the librarian, asked if anyone wanted to share a poem. "I do," said Badger. She recited, "Rain, rain, go away. Come again another day. Little Johnny wants to play." Next, Little Bunny raised his hand and said, "I have a poem too. My auntie wrote it." He jumped up and stood near Mr. Possum. "It goes like this. I love how white blossoms drift like summer snow against the back screen door." "That can't be a poem," said Raccoon. "It doesn't rhyme." Mr. Possum smiled and said, "Well, it is true that many poems rhyme, but a poem doesn't have to rhyme." Squirrel leaned over and whispered to Little Bunny, "Do you think that's true?" Little Bunny whispered back, "My auntie says the same thing, and she's a poet, so Mr. Possum must be right." Tummy Rumble by Joy Cowley, art by Pete Whitehead. Squirrel's tummy rumbled. "Pardon me," he mumbled. "I must be sitting in a rumbly tummy tree." So down the tree he tumbled, but still his tummy rumbled. "Oh, Jumble," grumbled Squirrel. "There's something wrong with me." He went to Dr. Dumble and said, "My tummy grumbles. It rattles and it rumbles. It sounds very rude." "You're fine," said Dr. Dumble. "Your tummy's little rumble means that it is hungry. All it needs is food."
We're Scary by Marianne Mitchell. Art by Angela Roselar. Andy and his friends looked out the window. It was still raining. So Andy brought out a box of old clothes. Carlos found a puffy jacket and some very big boots. He put the jacket on his head and stomped around in the giant boots and cried, "I'm a giant!" Then he growled, "I'm big!" Pete liked the green swim goggles and fins. He put them on and said, "I'm a monster." Then he flexed his monster muscles and roared, "I'm strong!" Andy pulled on a raggedy bathrobe. He thought the long belt would make a great dinosaur tail. He asked his mom to help him pin some gloves on it. Then he said, "I'm a dinosaur!" He swished his tail and cried, "I'm big and strong!" "Look," said Mom, "the sun is out. You scared away the rain." So the scary things ran outside to play.
Use Your Imagination by Ana Galan, art by Roberta Angaramo. Bebo Bear and Juan Toucan were walking down the street in New York City. They were looking for pretend animals. "I see a giraffe," said Bebo. "A giraffe? Where?" asked Juan. "Use your imagination, Juan," said Bebo. Juan looked, and then he saw a huge construction crane. "I see the giraffe," he said with a smile. They continued walking, and when they were about to cross the street, Bebo said, "I see a zebra." "A zebra? Where?" asked Juan. "Use your imagination, Juan," said Bebo. Just then, Juan saw the white lines painted on the street. "I see the zebra," he said. They arrived at Fifth Avenue with all the big fancy stores. Juan stopped and said, "I see a bear." Bebo looked, but he couldn't imagine seeing a bear anywhere. Finally, he saw his reflection in a store window. "Now I see the bear. It's me." "Yes," said Juan. "It's you."
Wiggly Worms by Marianne Mitchell. Art by Paula J. Becker. "It looks as if the rain has stopped," said Mom. "Let's go for a walk." Jake saw wiggly worms in the puddle. He said, "Look at the worms!" "They'd be happier in the grass," said Mom. Jake cupped his hand by a worm and said, "Go up here." The worm wiggled up on his hand. He put his hand down by the grass and said, "Go down here." The worm wiggled into the wet grass. Jake gently moved the other wiggly worm to the grass. He said, "Now they are happy." "Yes," said Mom. "Now they are happy." Jake was happy too. He splashed through puddles all the way home.
Let's Be Buddies by Marianne Mitchell. Art by Carrie Pillow. "Hi, Ryan," said Miss Laura. "This is Jose's first day. Will you be his buddy today?" "Yes," said Ryan. Ryan showed Jose where to hang his backpack. And when Miss Laura called, "It's time for morning meeting," Ryan said, "Come with me." At center time, Ryan said, "Sit with me, Jose." Cleanup time, called Miss Laura. The boys put their puzzle away and headed for the snack table.
Sit with me, Jose,
said Ryan. After story time, everyone got ready to go home. It looks like you've made a new friend, Ryan, said Miss Laura. Thanks for your help today. When Jose's dad arrived, Ryan said,
See you tomorrow.
Jose smiled and said,
Goodbye, friend.
Watch more on Highlights High Five, the channel just for you.